Say football family, welcome to Deep Dish Football Live. Hopefully everything is working. Looks like everything is working. Hopefully, hopefully everything's working. Let's see if I got this correct. Yeah, I got this correct. How you guys doing? My name is Pierre Lineberg, head coach Big Pete. Welcome to Deep Dish Football Live, episode 13. Last episode next week, series finale. Next Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as always, is and has been the tradition. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The new article, Deep Dish Football Game of the Week's articles out on deepdishfootball.com as well. Recruiting seminar video is out on YouTube as you guys have requested. I put it up, filmed it last night. Check it out on YouTube, Deep Dish Football, Coach Big Pete, YouTube as well. Do Page Run and Shoot show coming later tonight with my co-host Patrick Cotto. The video will be published probably tomorrow morning, Friday morning. And I will be, last IHSA game that I'm going to be there in person. I'm going to be at Montini as they take on Bryan. And I'm very excited about the game, and I think it's going to be good. I keep saying Bryan. I apologize. I keep mispronouncing the name. I apologize for that. And again, if you have any questions, email us coachbigpetfp@gmail.com. Just 1 second. That's better. Yeah, so let's get started. And again, show times as well is mostly Wednesday. Series finale, Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, Sunday 9 a.m. This Sunday 9 a.m. Hopefully there's no dogs barking. I apologize for that last Sunday. That was a pain in the ass as well. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. Again, Sunday conclusion article. Last Sunday conclusion article comes out this Sunday as well. Visit deepdishfootball.com as I talked about. And again, check out the new recruiting seminar video. And yeah, that's about it right now for just brief announcements. All right, so we get into the IHSFCA. I know there's complaints of the All-State team. I understand those complaints. Again, I am not responsible for those lists. I'm not responsible for anything. I have no relationship with the IHSFCA, whatever. So just a quick reminder about that. Very interesting second straight year. There's no Mount Carmel kids for Class 7A, which is perplexing to me. But I think the biggest thing that I find very disagreeable with this All-State list, there's no lineman on the All-State team. Now, there's a lineman at the honorable mention, but there's no lineman for the All-State team, and it doesn't sit right with me. I think linemen need to have a certain amount of spots. You don't need 5 quarterbacks, 4 quarterbacks. You should at least give some recognition to linemen. I think it's complete BS that there's no offensive linemen on that 7A All-State team. And I find it very just perplexing is the word can be used. And I'm using big words now, by the way. Perplexing, big word. But overall, was shocked by that list. But I'm very happy to see Alfred Palenke, Ryan Bowe make the list for 7A. But overall, good list, some questions. But IHSFCA, again, that's the All-State list. And again, told to me by Coach Kuntz, and big shout to Coach Kuntz again. Coaches have to be, sending their nominations, and coaches have to be members from Coach Hassett, who told me coaches have to be members of the IHSFCA, which, again, if you're, I'm going to piss off a lot of coaches, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I think that, I just don't, I think it's absolutely perplexing about the lineman situation in 7A. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, but that's the thing. You can check out the IHSFCA all state teams on deepdishfootball.com. It's the second article right after the games of the week for the semifinals And again, just again, trying to think of something else. I talk about this a lot, and I know a lot of people don't quite understand this. Overanalyzation, especially with media about players, you're starting to get into more of that NFL college football territory. I don't like that. Um, it's quite perplexing when you have to do a 2 hour thing about one game. I don't like that. I think it puts a little bit too much pressure on high school kids, and that's one of the things that I do not understand right now. Um, but we will see. Again, these kids are growing, and you don't have pretty an idea of how good these kids are going to be, especially freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. And big thing, I want to say this to people too. All state is a good thing for college coaches, but they rely more on all conference because again, all conference involves all the coaches, and that's a big thing that's important in recruiting is all conference. So just to give a little quick reminder to people, and so that's about it. And again, I'm gonna say this again, and I know because parents are getting pissed off now because they saw the all-state list, and that means, oh, my son's not gonna get a Division One offer, yada yada yada. Take a chill pill. Again, fill out those free recruiting questionnaires on college teams' websites. It's absolutely free. That is the most important thing. I cannot stop begging with parents. Fill out the free recruiting questionnaires on college teams' websites. Do not pay for recruiting services. Do not pay for recruiting services. Do not pay for recruiting services. There's just too many scammers out now. And that's the big thing that I can't stop preaching with parents and recruits as well. Do not do that. That's the most important thing that I keep saying. And for some reason, parents keep doing it. Don't do it. And again, I will be tweeting out more recruiting questionnaires. I'm thinking about this Sunday, tweeting out maybe 30, 40 recruiting questionnaires. So people, again, just for maybe the Sunday afternoon during the Bears games, fill them out, get that information to college coaches. All right, and now let's get into see if there's anything else I'm forgetting. No, I'm not. Again, DuPage games, Montini, St. Francis, York, DGN. I'm going to talk a lot more about those games on the DuPage Run and Shoot show later tonight with my co-host Patrick Cotto. The full show will be published tomorrow morning. So just a quick reminder so people don't get pissed off about, what about this game? Well, don't chill. Easy. All right. So we get into the big games, and the big one, of course, Lena Winslow taking on Chicago Hope. With Chicago Hope, again, Eddie Jenkins has done a wonderful job. Jamari West, another star player for the Chicago Hope Eagles. Overall, very impressive. Tough loss again. Aurora Christian, they've been a good team. They've been a really great team. You saw the big highlight Eddie Jenkins had against Rova last week, and they got an impressive win going to Rova. They're letting Lena Winslow in, and again, for Lena Winslow, the defense is going to be the pass rush. That is going to be the most important thing against this Chicago Hope offense. I think the pass rush is going to be key for Lena Winslow. Now, saying that, do I understand that the reason why Lena Winslow is heavily favored in this game? I completely understand, and they should be, because they're that damn good. They're that damn good. I think, again, the big thing is going to be time of possession, and, again, Chicago Hope Academy's defense has to hold them, again, to under 3.3 yards a rush. Because if they don't, this is going to be a long day for Chicago Hope Academy. It's going to be a pretty bad game if it does happen that way. Camp Point Central takes on Greenfield. Northwestern, again, 1A. Again, with this being said, last game, it was last year, the last playoff game, Camp Point, and again, yes, they're WIVC conference. They're saying the same thing, but they do not play each other because two separate divisions. Again, QB Nick Moore. I've that last name I accidentally jotted down the wrong. For Greenfield's going to be a player to keep an eye out for. Oh no, sorry, for Camp Point Central's quarterback is going to be named to watch for. Last game in the playoffs last season, Camp Point Central won. Definitely a game you need to check out, especially for 1A. And I think really if the team that could give the biggest run to Lena Winslow is Camp Point Central. If Lena Winslow gets the big win over Chicago Hope. Athens versus Shelbyville, another big 2A matchup, and overall with Athens, again, Craig's the key in that defense too. With Shelbyville, again, they got to open up the field against this Athens defense. That's going to be big as well. Another 2A game. Wilmington takes on Merrill Forsyth. Overall, Kanan Maurer has been an absolute star for Merrill Forsyth, and their passing attack has been impeccable. Again, with Wilmington, how to get the big W against this Wilmington team is to pass the ball. I've coached against Rince. I've coached against Wilmington, and it's always a pain in the ass. Especially, you got to wrap up, and again, you got to get those key stops. With Merrill Forsyth, passing attack, Kaden Maurer is going to be very important. Wilmington has an awesome offensive line, very awesome, and I think one of their biggest offensive lines that they've ever had. So again, Wilmington is always a tough thing. This is at Wilmington. Merrill Forsyth's got to make the travel. This is definitely a game to check out. Montini versus Brian. I don't want to I keep mispronouncing that name. But overall, with Montini, Carbonero's got to open up the field. I'm going to talk more about this later tonight against Montini versus Bryan. Talking about that game on the Do Patreon and Shoot show. Overall, Constantine's going to be huge for them. That offensive line is going to be huge. And this Montini defensive line has been quite impressive this season. So, definitely a thing to check out. Mount Carmel takes on Roxana. The Mount Carmel Golden Aces, not the Mount Carmel Caravan. Two different schools, people. Again, Mount Carmel, MT period space Carmel. So again, I got a bunch of things. Well, what about this player? Why is it he's on the other class list? He's not there. It's 7A. No. Mount Carmel, Chicago, Mount Greenwood, Mount Carmel, Snake Pit, 3A, the Golden Aces. Come on, people. But overall, Roxana has been unbelievable. Just an unbelievable story. And I think the Golden Aces of Mount Carmel, they found their niche after that big game against Casey Westfield during the regular season. Blaine Sisson. In Blaine Sisson, we trust with Roxana. Ellis, and they got another running back. The big thing for Mount Carmel, again, is going to be stopping that run. Their defense is going to have a huge game. Next one, Rochester versus Murfreesboro, 4A. Rochester. They come to this game favored. No doubt about that. They have to make the travels to Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro's got two great receivers, but overall, Rochester's defense has been absolutely dominating, kicking ass, and taking names. With that being said, the only thing that I can think about Rochester, and I see a little bit keys, again, the running game, pick it up a little bit. Can Murfreesboro get the upset against this Rochester team? Yes, they can. No doubt about it. This is the playoffs. They deserve to be there. They can get the upset. They were tested last week, and they beat Harrisburg on a last-second touchdown. Well-deserved. They got to play the games of their lives against this Rochester Rocket team because this Rochester team is the real damn deal. So, just a quick reminder about that. St. Lawrence, Wheaton Academy, tough game. Two teams that mirror each other. Talk more about this at the Do Patreon and Shoot Show. Then we're talking about another game. I'll talk more about on the Do Patreon and Shoot Show with my co-host Patrick Cotto. Nazareth taking on St. Francis. St. Francis won the big game on week 9 against this Nazareth Academy team, giving a 4-5 record. Nazareth managed to get it into the playoffs with a 4-5 record. This is at Nazareth. St. Francis does not want to see Nazareth again. Again, you don't want to see the opponents a second time in the playoffs. That is the immortal high school football rule. There have been exceptions where the team have just absolutely shellacked that other team, but this is one of those games. This is going to be a tough one. Joliet Catholic takes on Providence Catholic. Providence Catholic's looking for revenge after a tough loss to Joliet Catholic in the regular season. And again, the big thing with Providence Catholic, and I see this, this is going to be one of the biggest things, is they got to open up that passing. They have to open up passing against this Julia Catholic defense. Julia Catholic Munoz, he's having a hell of a season. Julia Catholic's defense always on point. They've had a couple hiccups, but they've been able to bounce back. Again, two teams we weren't fully expecting, but they managed to get into the semifinals. I think a little bit more into Julia Catholic, but with Providence Catholic, they were up and down with Providence Catholic. East St. Louis takes on Washington Panthers, and overall, East St. Louis got the big win over Kankakee last week. This weekend, they have to travel to the Washington Panthers and that dominating defense. And with this game being set, the big thing will be Robert Pop's battle and overall the rushing attack of East St. Louis going against this defense of Washington. Now, that being said, Washington's offense has to produce against this game. This is going to be huge because if it gets the 14-21-0 with East St. Louis, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a pain in the ass for Washington to come back. And again, if I'm Washington, I'm going to try some trickery. That's what I'm going to do. All right, that's 6A, 7A. Lake Zurich takes on Cary Grove overall. With Lake Zurich and Cary Grove, again, that option read offense that I really like. Pain in the butts to defending defenses. Lake Zurich, Seco at quarterback. Overall, offense has been on point. Lincoln Adams, linebacker, star linebacker that you must know from the Lake Zurich Bears. Cary Grove, Perot, fullback. If he has a field day in the first quarter, and Abrams, their other running back, who's an absolute stud, 2026, this is going to be tough for Lake Zurich. This really is going to be tough for Lake Zurich. The big thing is going to be Lake Zurich's passing attack against Cary Grove's defense. And again, with Lake Zurich's defense, to get penetration and stop the run. Stop the run. Cary Grove, all they do is they take chunks of yardage. They take chunks of yardage and they tire out your defense. And they're a pain in the ass to stop. Next one, the big battle. The epic battle. Downers Grove North takes on Normal Community. I apologize. Got the wrong game. Batavia versus Mount Carmel. I apologize. Saturday, 4 p.m. on the U. It's going to be broadcasted. What a game. Batavia losing 2 games over the past 2 seasons. The finals and I think it was the quarter or semifinals to Mount Carmel. The first one, 2 blown calls by the refs. The other one, Mount Carmel just absolutely destroyed Batavia. The difference being, I'm going to say this right now, with Batavia, the big thing is going to be stopping the run against this Mount Carmel team. I think overall, Batavia's aggressiveness on the secondary and linebacker core, especially going in, I think they're going to switch up their scheme a little bit. Overall, I think they can take care of those receivers of Mount Carmel. I think they're going to play rough with them, which they have to do. And because, again, some of those Mount Carmel receivers, sometimes they get alligator arms. And I think Batavia, personally, with the big thing being that you take out the pass, I think the big thing is going to be stopping that Mount Carmel run. Because Elliott, Dupree, I'm forgetting the second out of the running back, they're that damn good. That's going to be key for Batavia. DGN takes on Normal. Again, I think Normal is going to put most of their focus on Noah Battle. It's going to be on Lansu's arm. I think that's going to be huge. That sophomore star quarterback, Owen Lansu, he's that damn good, too. I think we're going to be looking at Owen Fullen and Charlie Cruz to have big games. But this is definitely going to be a game to check out. And again, do not underestimate Normal Community's passing attack. Unbelievable. They had a quarterback pass for 6 or 7 touchdowns in the regular season. Definitely a thing you got to check out. Normal versus DGN. Next, Lincoln Way East versus Barrington. What a great story about this Barrington team. Again, this is one of those feelings of those large public schools that haven't been gone that far in the playoffs for a lot of years. Getting into that playoffs, Barrington's story is unbelievable, but they're going against the juggernaut in Lincoln Way East. Overall, again, two teams that mirror themselves, especially with defensive wise, that take pride in their defensive play. I think this is going to be a tough fought game. I do believe that Lincoln Way East should be favored in this. I don't have no doubt about it, but I do believe that with Barrington, their tests that they've had this season, they're well equipped. The emotional rides of being down a large deficit of points and them coming back, they've done it numerous times. Very impressed with this game. Overall, I really believe that I really do believe that's going to come down to the defensive secondary of Barrington. Why are you asking me about a game versus Geneva Cary Grove last week, my man? Come on. Come on. We're in the semifinals. Check the Sunday conclusion. Next one, York versus Loyola 8A. 4-8A. And this will be talking more about the DuPage Run and Shoot show. Overall, Loyola comes in as heavily favored at the home of Loyola Academy. By the way, big shout out. They got the okay for the lights. Loyola deserves those lights. Well deserved. Overall, with York, there's very few coaches that I think that can beat public school coaches that can beat Loyola Academy. I do believe Coach Fitz from York, and there's another Coach Fitz on Loyola. I do believe that they can get the upset. I think that Coach Fitz can get this upset. I think the key is going to be, can they put pressure on Fitzgerald, the quarterback of Loyola Academy? Can they make him force mistakes? That's going to be the big thing. Also, they have to stop the run. That's going to be key for York. That's going to be really key for York. And do not underestimate Loyola Academy's receivers. On York's side of the ball, that offensive line has to play lights out. They got to play lights out. And I'll talk more about this on the DuPage Run and Shoot show later today. Let's get to questions. Where am I? What's questions? Brittany K. Maple Park. Oh, why are you leaving? I already said this numerous times, and I just go out by November 27th. I'm gone, and I'm happy to be leaving, so that's it. DeepDishFootball.com will still remain online. You'll be able to see the watch list. Yeah, that's about it. It's just done. Again, dirty business. I want the hell out. Not even really going to, after this, not going to really pay attention that much to high school football. I think it's become a dirty business, and that NIL bullshit and all that other stuff, it's become a pure joke. That's just me being uncensored. I could say, well, Jimmy G. Willikers, it's looking fun. I hate to say this, but it's going down right now, and I'm on fumes. I'm running on fumes, people. So, but yeah. So that's the question. Thank you, Brittany K. to Maple Park. And why do you like small schools? I love small school football. I think small school football is the purest form of football. I also believe, too, with small school football, it's the heartbeat for a lot of high school organizations. I love the community aspect of small school football. I coached at Westmont when it's still small school. It's a 2A right now. I was going into 3A when I was coaching. To me, you give me the best description of your town or your small community when I go to your game on Friday night at your home field. That best describes, and it's a wonderful feeling, small school football. Small school football is one of the most beautiful things in the world. It really is. And someone asked me, where would you rather coach, small school or big school? I would coach small school. I would never, ever want to coach big school football. I would never, ever want to coach big school private football. Would never, ever want to coach in the Chicago Catholic League. ESCC, none of that, because that's just a pain in the butt. I would not. I think again, small school football is. I really love it. I think it's unbelievable, and just the camaraderie, the heartbeat, and I really do believe small school football is a big heartbeat in the state of Illinois. I've gone to large school games, rivalry games that I thought were going to be big with both teams undefeated. Both those bleachers for fans were half filled. I went to a 1A game, Forston versus Dakota, in was 2019, 2018. That place was packed. That place was unbelievably packed. I went to Wilmington versus IC, packed game. There was a playoff game, by the way, and I know playoffs get more packed. I understand. I went to Bolingbrook versus Lincoln Way East game. It was 1/3 packed. I went to I'm trying to think of any. I went to a Piatone game, Piatone versus IC. That was packed. I went to. I'm trying to think of any more. There's a lot of miss about Piatone Wilmington. Unbelievable game. It was packed. I went to a Westmont Streeter game. And I coached at Westmont. I made a little bit stop. It was absolutely packed, and Westmont was getting their ass kicked 49-0. Before that, I went to the Hinsdale Central and Hinsdale South game. The Hinsdale Central bleachers were about 80% packed. The Hinsdale South bleachers were about 30%, 40% packed. It was disgusting, and I went to the Westmont game. They were getting their asses kicked, but there was still Westmont. The community was still in the bleachers, and the Streeter people traveled too. I went to the most shocking game ever in my life. 2016. It was EPC at Chicago Christian. It was a 1A, I think it was, no, 2A. It was a 2A game. I was completely flabbergasted at how many people from EPC, Eastland Pearl City, hopefully I got that right, traveled to Chicago Christian. It just blew me away. Absolutely shocking about how many people were there. Absolutely shocking. I went to, was it St. Bede, St. Joseph? St. Joseph's first football playoff game in years. By the way, they're shut down now, St. Joseph, Westchester. The amount of people from St. Bede, unbelievable. I went to Forston, Ottawa Marquette game. It was unbelievably packed. But again, I'm digressing. Small school football, again, is the heartbeat. And that is, it's something different. Small school football is a lot different than large school football, and it's beautiful. It honestly is beautiful. My first official, you could say, small school game that I coached at was that I went our way to was Westmont against Plano. We got our asses kicked. Big shout out to Coach Coons for kicking our asses in. But just the community of Plano was unbelievable. It was great. So that's it. Thanks for the questions. If you have any more questions, email me at CoachBigPete, fp@gmail.com to be read out during the show. That is about it. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to be at Montini, by the way, for Montini versus the Tigers, Bryan Tigers. I'm excited to go to the game. And last IHSA game done to see in person, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be scouting the game as well. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining. See you on DuPage Run and Shoot show later tonight. It's going to be published Friday morning with my co-host Patrick Coro. By the way, make sure you follow DuPage Run and Shoot show on Twitter and Facebook. And again, and I know someone asked me a question, is DuPage Run and Shoot show going to be done? No, it's not. Mr. Coro is going to keep on running it. And he's going to have a co-host, and he does an absolute wonderful job. The dude does a wonderful job. He's a sportscaster for Naperville Community Access Television. He's kicking ass, and he's taking names. So thank you guys so much for joining, and have a great day. See you later tonight.